Alright, so this camera has a lot of flaws considering I built it in like 3 days from design to assembly. I printed the body in one shot, so that was 26 hours of printing total for all the parts. There's 3 parts, like front, back, and then the display holder. But anyway, one of the major flaws is the switch. I had a sliding switch in here, and the mounts for the screws, they were like too small, so it wouldn't screw in correctly. And the other problem is this switch is such a piece of junk. Like, it's a cheap switch, you know, you buy like, I don't have one on hand, but you buy like 10 of them for $2 or something, you know. But anyway, yeah, so it's like, now, you know, I hot glued it in there. It like turns off randomly. You like slide it multiple times to start the camera, if it actually starts. I gotta fix that. So I bought these switches, which is like click on off locking. So I'm gonna put that in here somehow. Probably glue it. That's pretty funny. I'm not gonna do that, but it'll go in there. I'll have to probably burn the hole, make it bigger. I'm gonna be I was supposed to design and build another camera. It's actually already have the parts here for it. But I gotta go try and launch a product. Try and make money, because I'm poor. But yeah, so I gotta wait. I've got other projects too, like a robot arm that waters my plants, or a little navigation robot. I got these new sensors. It's like a 64, like 8x8 time of flight grid. That'll be cool. I gotta try that out. I gotta take this tripod mount off. Tomorrow's gonna be fun. I'm gonna go to 2 different parks, new ones. Alright. I gotta turn this soldering iron on. How do I do this? I'm gonna have to disconnect the display. Go. This is pretty nasty. I just put a bunch of hot glue in there. Take that out. The switch like is glued in there. It's just the sliding contacts are so crappy. Ooh, not bad. So my soldering iron is ruined. Alright. Trunk switch is gone. I just inhaled some smoke. My lifespan decreased by a few minutes. Alright. Like that. Put it in here somehow. Change its angles and get a better view. I felt terrible lately. Stressed out and busy. But it is as Oliver Tree said, life goes on and on and on. Alright, what do? Do I just stick it on there? I think I gotta wait for it to cool. Also added, oh man, there it goes. Another thing I did not consider with this build is like a locking angle for the display. So I just put some tape on the sides to make the tolerance tighter. So then when it, now it's like you gotta really push it down to close it. This is such a great display. The transition from 300 pixels wide to 640 is crazy. Life-changing. I'm a different person. Alright, let me see. I changed my whole life when I learned to ignore them. Got back to Oliver Tree after watching Invincible. Okay, so that is not good. Seems like I do have to make the hole bigger for it to fit. Which I can do because it's plastic. I'll bend this backwards so I can solder to it. That feels good, maybe. Yeah, I like that a lot more. And problem is this switch is now covered in glue. Great. I don't like that. But I got a whole bag, so we're good. Oh yeah, that's good. I do believe I have the vapors. Alright. It's gonna look good like that. Let me pre-solder this before I can grab it. A little bit of a dab of some flux. Pre-tin. Where'd it go? Right here. Yeah. You gotta use that thing. Life goes on and on and on and on. Oh my god. I'm about to use this. Oh! Still hot. There. What is on there? It's glue. Ah. feeling solid. Forgot to turn the hot glue on. Dang. Alright, well. Time jump. That was crazy. There's a freaking OLED on the top here, and it's like not used at all. I mean, it when it boots up, it says Pelicam. That's all it does. But one of the cameras I have in mind is it has a local vision and LLM model. It has a camera, or not a camera, a microphone and a speaker, you know. So it's like a character. It listens to you, sees what the camera is seeing, that kind of thing. And you could use these as like eyes or something. But the more stuff you add, like the more current you have to provide, which I have a little 3 amp boost converter in here. Because like this OLED, if it doesn't have good power, it doesn't boot right. Anyway, let me assemble this. What we got here is failure. Oh god. Hot glue is terrible. So unprofessional. I'm really bad at starting projects and not finishing them. I apologize for this. Pelicam, I got stuck on this recursive object key traversing problem, and I really wanted to solve it myself. I was like, I'm not going to use AI for this. And like weeks go by, and I just lost like the drive to work on Pelicam. Eventually, I did just use an AI, and it spit out the function. You know, I could feed in a JavaScript object and say, give me the key path to get to this value. You know, so it's like, imagine you've got nested objects like A, B, C, D. That's like 4 levels deep or whatever. That's what it would do. And it was for the menu building. Imagine a nested, indented drag and drop menu building system. Like you put this thing under that as a parent. Imagine, you know, like fruit, orange, and then under orange, or no, that's not a good example. Fruit, and you'd say red, and then under red, apple. You know, so that's like 3 levels deep. And you'd say, where is apple? And it would say fruit, red, apple. Like that's the full path. Anyway, I got stuck on that for a while, and then I lost momentum. Alright, so we just glued that in. That's feeling pretty good, I think. Let me do a little quick test here. I want to see if it budges. Whoa. I like that. That feels good. It doesn't move. There's a freaking 10-axis IMU in here too. It's so funny. Alright, so now I gotta put it back together. I gotta put this display cable back in there, which is freaking hard to do. Alright, I'm gonna turn everything off because it's done. Another problem is the screws to mount this. They freaking broke off, so the Pi's, it has 3 connections, but like somewhere it's not connected, so it's kind of loose. I think the worst thing I did was how the sensor is mounted to the board. It's literally just glued in there, and the flange is like glued to the body, so you can't adjust it. That's dumb. That was my bad. I was not aware at the time that was a removable piece. That was part of the sensor, you know. Oh, it's feeling good. There we go. Is that in? That's what she said. Okay, here we go. Put the header back on. Okay. Where is my spacer cardboard? Where did it go? Looks freaking nasty in there. Look at all that. Yeah. The screws back in, 6 of them. Oh, this one's not magnetic. Death magnetic. Still you run, what's to come, what's to be. Man, I remember when that album was new. That's how old I am. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Desecrating fire. Into the clips, into the cliff's abyss. Total eclipse. Suffer my apocalypse. Alright. Screw this back on. I guess not magnetic. Good. Oh, I can't see that at all. I'll turn this on. As you can see from the side crack of the body, the light of the Raspberry Pi. See, that's how I checked that it worked, or that the camera turned on when I pushed the old switch. But now I've got a good switch in there. Putting in more screws. It really is crazy how you can design something on a computer and make it real. Like, oh, there it is. This camera is so stupidly expensive too. It's $230. Like in parts. You could buy a freaking Sony NEX5N on eBay for $50 or whatever. It's better than this camera. But it's not about that, it's about the journey. Last screw, here we go. I did a poor job on this seam, but it's because this model's so complicated. The mesh was broken in SketchUp. It's hard for me to fix it. It would just get worse. Skill issue. Look at that. There it is. We got a push button in there now. Man, this freaking lens is so good. Let's see if I can focus on something. Well, that's what I mean too. It's like when the lens is you have to twist the lens to focus it, like the entire lens, so it moves the flange. This has a focus ring, but you have to get it into the focusable range first. So you twist the body, and that's the thing too, is like there comes a point where it just pops out. But here I'm focusing like a foot away, so that's why it's so far away, the flange. So now it's in focus. Looking at my multimeter there. Donated to me by a friend. Yeah, there we go. Close the aperture a little bit. It's at 2.8. Let's try 5.6. Oh, that looks good. Very crisp. Alright. Yep. Tomorrow I'll go to 2 parks. Oh, I like that. That's what the next camera will have. I'll have it switch. Turn on and off. That's what I bought those switches for, actually. And you put the tripod mount back on. It's over here on the left, in line with the lens.